What's up, everybody? And this is the Spell Basketball Show. I'm your host, Aslan Williams, and today we have a very, very, very special guest. You've heard him announce Jamal Murray. You've heard him announce Nikola Jokic, Aaron Gordon, any player that the Nuggets have come through. Carmelo Anthony, too. Shout out to Carmelo, new Hall of Fame inductee. But we have Mr. Kyle Speller here. How you doing today, Mr. Kyle?
I'm doing great. Too blessed to be stressed. Pray the Lord. Pray the Lord.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah, Mr. Kyle, I've known him almost my whole life, pretty much, just because he used to do plays over at Heritage Christian Center when I was younger. I used to watch him over there. He also did. What did he? You were the PA announcer for one of my games in high school. Montbello and East played each other, and we had a really close game. And I'm gonna brag about it because we actually did beat East by a buzzer beater. But Kyle was in; he was in attendance for that game. But so blessed to have you on, Mr. Kyle. How you doing today? How's everything going?
Yeah, doing great. Just keeping plates spinning. But yeah, definitely looking forward to the season getting started. I'm like counting the days down as well. You know, when football starts, that means it's just a matter of time before we tip off. And so, yeah, looking forward to the beginning of next month when we call our first preseason games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm excited for it too. And that's just gonna lead us into our next topic. You know, I'm a huge Nuggets fan. This is the PA announcer for the Denver Nuggets. And so how about them Nuggets? Let's talk about all the moves that were made in the offseason. I was very sad to see my man Michael Porter Jr. go, but that trade for Cam Johnson, how do you think that's going to fare for the Nuggets this year?
For me personally, I'm excited about it. Yeah, I was definitely sad to see MPJ go. I'm just so grateful for the time that he was here. I mean, he was a part of bringing us our first championship, and he's just been a blessing to have here. And so I'm just hoping nothing but the best for him. That he has some amazing, seasons and except for when they play against us, of course. but yeah, I wish him nothing but the best. I'll be praying for him as well. And on the other side of it, he's like the gift that keeps on giving, because look at what we got as a result of being able to leverage him in that way. And so he even in going, he still was a blessing to us, with Cam Johnson. Definitely looking forward to seeing him in a Nuggets uniform. And then all the other pieces that we got, it's no secret that we've struggled with depth, for quite some time. And so now I feel like we've got that. We've got some vets that are here that are there. I mean, we've got sharpshooters, we've got defenders. We've got, obviously guys that, as far as I can tell, they are selfless individuals as well, selfless basketball players as well. Brucey B is back. Yeehaw! Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Tim Hardaway Jr. That dude can get hot, boy. He can get real hot. And so, and they're all great defenders as well. As Cam, he's got a nice stroke too. Yes. But the other piece too, with the acquisitions and everything, all the movement, we finally have a backup center for Yoke, and I'm so excited about him because I've watched them go against each other, and they compete hard, and so I'm grateful that he's with us now, and can give Yoke some rest and keep the momentum, and so I'm excited about it. We've got that depth that we needed, and as long as we stay hungry, humble, and healthy, those are my 3 H's: hungry, humble, and healthy. I think this could be a special season, another special season. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited too. I definitely agree with you. And bringing Bruce Brown back, which I still had never let him go in the first place, but bringing Bruce back, Tim Hardaway Jr., veteran presence, and then again, I think the biggest acquisition that we had was Jonas Valanciunas. To not only give Jokic a bit of a break, and Jonas can the floor as well, but run that big two towers lineup
if necessary.
if necessary,
Yeah.
bringing up, what Houston just did, with the bigs re-signing Steven Adams, who was a pivotal piece for that Houston Rockets team in the playoffs last year, and then also Clint Capella to, complement Alfred Şengün, who had an amazing summer in the Eurobasket League this year. I was paying
He's
attention.
nice. He's
And
nice.
yes,
He's
so,
a problem.
he's a big problem. A lot of people are saying he's the second coming of Jokic. So
Yeah, right.
we'll see with that. But talking about some of those things where we also are able to, just go into the NBA season. We had some major moves in the offseason, especially in the Western Conference. We have Kevin Durant, going to Houston. We have, DeAndre Ayton and Marcus Smart joining the Los Angeles Lakers. And so, with of course, we're gonna pull for the Nuggets, and I still believe even that we had last year being arguably the hardest matchup for the Oklahoma City Thunder throughout the entire playoffs. Who do you think also is going to be at the top with the Nuggets and with the Thunder?
Houston, you called it. Houston is going to be right there. Houston, we have a problem.
Yep. Yes.
Houston is, they're going to be right there. Even with their coach Ime Udoka as well, they're hungry, they're scrappy. I think that's a team to be reckoned with. And I felt like last year, as far as OKC went. I thought we had them. We should have had them. In games 4 and game 5, we should have figured out a way to close those out.
Yes.
But we should have had them. And but in any case, Houston is a problem. And then Minnesota, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. The West is a mess.
Yes.
The West is a mess, big time. We'll see what Golden State, how they fare. They'll be in the mix some kind of way. But I think Houston that's the team right there. Houston, between Houston, Minnesota, OKC. The thing I was glad about with OKC is they won it, so it was a long year for them, long season. It's so hard to repeat that, because now they've got the target. We know what it's like to have the target on our back after winning.
Right.
Now they have the target on their back, so that means every night they're gonna be facing everyone's best. So we'll see how they proceed, down the line. But Houston is hungry, and we're hungry to get it again.
Right.
And so we're and so we'll see how that goes. But
yes, sir.
That's the ones.
Yes. Yeah, no, there's a couple teams in the West that I'm curious about. There's some curiosity. One of them are the Lakers. I'm interested in seeing the addition of DeAndre Ayton, because that's what they were complaining about all last year was, we need a big. The Lakers need a big. Lakers need a big. Now, the way the Lakers fans are acting is as if they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we know that's not the case. But I do think, I just remember a few years ago when the Nuggets and the Suns were playing in the playoffs, and Ayton was really battling with Jokic. And the thing I love about Nikola Jokic is if somebody is posing a problem, he always figures it out. Like he always figures it out. And so it's one of those things where Ayton hasn't been in the limelight in the last few seasons, being in Portland. And so has he declined, or will this be like a resurgence for his career? Will he be able to, pose a threat as a big in the league and see, if that can work? But I do think the acquisition of Marcus Smart was huge for the Los Angeles Lakers, not only defensively, but Gabe Vincent hasn't been the Gabe Vincent since the Miami where they lost to us in the championship. So I'm excited to see that. But the main one I'm curious about, and I want to get your feedback on this one as well. The Los Angeles Clippers made a lot of moves in the offseason.
Yeah.
Made a lot of moves. And so on paper, it looks good. There's a age. There's a
Yeah.
lot of age on that squad, but
Yeah.
uh, they made a lot of moves. Brooke Lopez, Bradley Beal, bringing back Chris Paul,
Mhm.
John Collins, which I thought was actually really good pickup for the Clippers.
Mhm.
So what do you think about the Los Angeles Clippers?
Yeah, the Clippers. I mean, like I said, the West is a mess,
Yeah.
and when you look at each of the teams, there's just like I want to say the other day I was kind of going down the teams in the West,
Mhm.
and you look at teams. What there's 1 through 15,
Yeah.
and to me, I said, well, there's probably like 2 or 3 that probably are not in the mix, but that's it.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Everybody else, it just depends.
Yes.
Memphis, we're gonna see. The Clippers, we're gonna see. We'll see how the mix is with Bradley Beal and all, and and how that all flows. The Clippers have always been their own problem. Like they haven't. A lot of times they've beaten themselves,
Right. Right.
whether it's been health or whatever. I don't know. And now they've got the huge, Kawhi distraction, with the whole bomber thing and all that. So,
Yeah.
the, but Ty Lue is an amazing coach, and he knows how to get the best out of his guys. And so, you expect the Clippers to be in the mix. It is truly, it's a mess. You
Yeah.
can't say the same thing in the East. That's where I'm like, man, you should kind of, if there was a way to like reseed everybody top to bottom,
Right.
I don't know, and so because everybody in the West is just battle tested, and we've beaten each other up all season long, and so when
Ex-
it comes, playoffs, it's just
Yeah.
who can last the longest, and so who's built to last the longest, and
Right.
but yeah, will they expect the Clippers to be in the mix? Um, you know, we'll we'll see. We'll see about Sacramento. We'll see what they do.
Mhm.
Um, the only team that we kind of think they're still in rebuild mode would be like Utah and like the New Orleans. I think they're probably in that rebuild type state or whatever.
Yes.
Um, and I forget the other team. Oh, San Antonio.
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. They
they're coming.
few years. Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my gosh,
Yeah.
you just
The team.
shake my
The other
head.
the other team that
And
could
then
also
Dallas,
be in the
we'll
top.
see
There we
about.
go.
Yeah,
Dallas. I
we'll
was
see.
gonna
I mean, for me, the thing I say about every player, no matter who it is,
say. Mhm.
it takes you 3 to 4 years to learn how to play in the NBA.
Right.
And so Cooper Flag is special, but
Yeah.
he still has to go through his journey too. And
Right.
so, with Dallas, um, I think everything will be predicated on Kyrie's health.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if he's going to play this year.
Mhm.
We'll see. He may just kind of get ready for the following year or whatever. And yeah, we'll see how Cooper develops. He's
Mhm.
a special kid, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. They've got the size and everything else. They'll be in the mix
Yeah.
as well, but
Yes.
I just don't know. It's gonna, like I said, it'll be 3 to 4 years before he understands how to play the NBA game. That's everybody,
Right.
every single player, every
Yes.
single player. And so we'll see about them, but it's just they'll be battling.
Yeah.
They'll be battling.
Yeah. And with that Dallas team, I think if D'Angelo Russell can produce at least 15 to 16 points, I think Dallas is going to be okay. And then
Yeah.
you bring Kyrie back whenever he does come back, even if it's not this season. There's rumors that he might be back next season toward the end of the season, but even then, still, the injury that he had is not just a
Yeah.
injury that you take
You
lightly.
don't just, yeah, it takes you a whole nother year to get your body back from
Right.
that. I
Exactly.
mean, see what everybody, even though the technology is there to get you back, it's
Hmm.
still your body until you mentally are just like are free to play.
Right.
That takes a little bit of time as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. Well, there y'all heard it first, folks, from Mr. Kyle.
Mhm.
What he's thinking about what's going to happen with the Nuggets, as well as like you said, the West is a mess.
Mhm.
usually hear the saying, the wild wild west, which
Mhm.
is wild and a mess. So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens moving forward. But Mr. Kyle, we're gonna just shift to you. We have, everybody has an opinion, everybody has debates about what's the greatest era in basketball, who's the GOAT, all of
Mhm.
these things. But I have a pretty decent memory, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember we were at Green Valley Ranch one time, and you were doing a camp.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm not mistaken, you growing up, your favorite team were the Showtime Lakers. Am I correct on that?
Correct,
Yes,
correct. That was
sir. Yes,
when I
sir.
fell in love with basketball. That was who it was.
Yes, sir. Okay, I was like, I think I remember him saying that, but
Yeah.
I just want to get your opinion on this right now. To you, Mr. Kyle, who
Mhm.
and what is the greatest era of basketball?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that 80s and 90s basketball. That's my generation, and so the
Yes, sir.
rules were different. You could put hands on folks, and and when I played, I was putting hands on folks as well, and all of that. And so everything is different now. You got all kinds of and a lot of extra.
Yeah, right.
And so it's just different. Yeah, it's just a different day and age, and so I'm rather partial to that 80s 90s. Hey, got to pump the iron and all of that.
Yes, sir.
And you just it's all about what's in here,
Yes, sir.
and here as well,
Yes,
and that's it. And so I that's just me.
yes, yes, absolutely. And I'm right there with you, honestly. My favorite eras to watch are the 80s and 90s.
Mhm,
I mean, I was just being born in the 90s, but still,
mhm,
that was my favorite era to watch. I of course, the Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson. For me, I still don't understand why
mhm,
he doesn't get more credit, for being
mhm.
in top five greatest players of all time. Because if you really
Yeah.
look at Magic Johnson did in we'll
Mhm,
just say the 11 years that he played, because he came
mhm.
in 79. He left, due to the AIDS diagnosis in
Mhm.
91. So if you look at that, that's 11, 12 years that, all the stuff that he built, five
Yeah.
championships, five MVPs,
Yeah.
like all these
Yeah.
things he got in that time. I still don't understand why we're
Yeah.
talking as far as, I'll give you my top five. I have
Mhm,
Michael Jordan.
mhm,
This is controversial, but I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I got
mhm,
Kobe Bryant at two. you know, I got
mhm,
LeBron at three. And
mhm.
even then, it's still hard for me to put LeBron over Kareem. It's like
Right.
those that you can. I feel like you can interchange certain things. I'm not knocking LeBron and for who he is, but I'm
Right.
just, you still have Kareem, you still have Magic. But I'll
Mhm.
go one Jordan, two Kobe, three LeBron, uh four Kareem, and then five Magic.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I
Yeah, that's
can that sounds good to me. I can't argue with you there. I wouldn't argue with you there. To me, Magic Johnson is probably my number one point guard
oh yeah.
of all time. I would say,
Hmm.
with what he was done. And yeah, like I said, that was when I wore number 33 when I was a kid for Kareem when I first fell in love with the game of basketball, and so and as far as my 1, 2, 3, that's my 1, 2, 3 as well. It was Michael Jordan, number one, period. And
Yes.
there was a question I had, like, LeBron broke Kareem's record, but to me, it's like he did it. He also had access to the three ball.
Hmm.
Kareem never shot any threes.
Exactly. Exactly.
So all his points were ground and pound around that rim, and it's all ones and twos. And
Yeah.
so
Mhm.
and so I always like, well, there's some added shot there, but that is what it is. Not
Yes.
taking anything away from LeBron's greatness at
Yes.
all. But yeah, my goat is Michael Jordan, period. And
Yes, sir.
that's just he's LeBron wears number 23, you know, it's Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan set the tone. They're everybody. You aren't comparing players to. You're comparing. Everybody's comparing themselves to Michael Jordan.
Exactly,
Well,
exactly.
even Kobe, it's how he compared to Michael Jordan and all that.
Yes,
So that's
that
that's all. I just sit back. Hey,
that's it. That's just how it is.
with shoes and shoe deals, sneaker deals, all that stuff. It was all about the Jordans. And
Exactly. It still is. That's the thing.
and
It's
they're right. Actually, in all actuality, for sure, for
yes,
sure.
sir.
So,
Still
but
is.
yeah, so many different things, and yeah, I know. Oh Lord, Bill Russell, he's got 10 rings. I got it, but is a little different. It's a little
Yes.
different on how
Mhm.
those were obtained
Right.
and what all the state of the league was at that point in time. And
Right.
they had Jordan rules. Remember the
Mhm.
Jordan rules? They
Yes.
don't have rules for anybody else like that. And
Right.
so,
Right. Yes.
but for me, the thing that I always there's a characteristic, there's a trait with all to me of the greatest players. Like Larry Bird had it,
Mhm.
Michael Jordan had it, Kobe had it,
Mhm.
Magic Johnson had it.
Yeah.
It's they have the ability to impose their will
He- on the game.
on the game.
Yes, sir. Yes,
They
sir.
have that
Absolutely.
ability, and so that's the trait that I look for as well. And I see that in a lot of players
Yes, sir.
today.
Yes, sir. That is true. And I was thinking about something, one of my favorite players that I did research on was Pistol Pete, who averaged 44.3 points a game in college. Throughout his whole entire college career at LSU, he
Mhm.
averaged 44.3, and that was without a three-point line. And he was shooting threes. If you look at the distance of where he was
Oh,
shooting,
for sure.
he was
Right.
shooting threes at that time. So I'm like, this man probably, if we use what today's
Mhm.
stats are and the rules of today, probably
Mhm.
average close to 60 or about 73 points a game,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
in
Oh,
between
for
that,
sure.
and I just think
I
about like,
know.
man, that's amazing. You average that many points a game, and that's the highest average, um, I believe, ever. And that was
Mhm.
that was throughout his whole college career. That wasn't just like a season. That was
Right.
throughout his whole college career. So that was just amazing. But yeah, I agree with
Mhm.
you
He was
wholeheartedly on
ahead of
that,
his time. He was ahead of his time. That's for sure.
man. And that's why I say there's no Magic Johnson without Pistol Pete marriage.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
And so
Exactly.
yes, sir.
Exactly. One
Rest
generation to the
in history.
next. And so, yeah, we'll be looking back and this generation they'll be talking about LeBron and
Yep.
and and all that in the same way as we are now about Jordan. It'll be whoever that particular player is
Right.
in the
E-
future or whatever. So,
Exactly.
hmm
There's always going to be something.
hmm
Something to talk
hmm
about. All right, Mr. Kyle. As we wrap up, what upcoming projects do you have? Again, I was at the Shepherd Heart Ministry thing the other day, and I was like, I know that voice. So yeah, I was just like, you go places, and you just Mr. Kyle just has such a distinct voice, and
hmm
you just know that voice wherever you go. And so, what outside of the NBA season getting ready to start here soon? What other projects do you have coming up?
Just, I mean, I'm always keeping plates spinning and different voice type things. Just met with a producer earlier this week and all of that as well. Um, Something though that's like really special to me. My wife and I, we have a book that will be launching out here towards the end of the year, uh,
Nice,
and uh, and so we're excited about that. So we've just been kind of walking through that process, and it's a book for marriages and for
nice.
couples, and so that's something that we'll see how that goes as well.
Nice. Look, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to hear about that. And you have to get that for sure.
Mm,
I know I'm a single man, but I do hope to be married one day. So I'll definitely
yeah,
look forward to
yeah,
reading that. Yes, sir.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yes,
Got some
yes, sir.
different nuggets in there for the things that we learned throughout
Yes,
the we've been married for 27 years, and so
Man.
just yeah, the Lord laid something on our hearts, and so we were able to get it down.
Yes, that's a blessing. And again, look forward to reading that for sure. And then just one thing before we head off of here. You're a man of faith. I know I am too. And so I just wanted to ask you this question, and this is for me. But
Mhm.
how has the foundation of Jesus been or how has the foundation of Jesus translated to your success and to who you are today?
Mm. For me, Jesus is the reason for my being. Period. And I'm not chasing success or anything along those lines. Everything that I'm doing
Yes.
is solely for the glory, for His glory. Just trying to uplift Christ, not just verbally, but through my attitude, through my actions. I don't get it right all the time, but
Yes.
through just my interactions, through you know my professionalism or whatever. I'm just trying to bring uh, honor to Him.
Yeah.
Period. And so that's my whole mindset is to
Yeah.
try to do things with excellence, um, to glorify Christ.
Yes.
Period. And that's it. My pastor says all the time, you build God a platform, He'll give you a platform. And yeah, I'm not looking for fortune and fame and all of that stuff. Just whatever the Lord has me to do, I just want to be able to just say yes and be obedient and prayerfully get it right the first time, so I don't have
Yes.
to get it right the second, and
Yes.
just keep moving forward. But it, whenever I'm talking or
Mhm.
speaking or whatever, my prayer is always that people won't see me or hear me, that they would see and hear Christ in me.
Amen.
Period. And that's it. And I don't I don't want anything. I'm
Yes.
just only thing only thing I want to do is I would love to be able to hear when my time is up here on this earth. Well done.
Yes.
Lord
Yes.
have mercy. Well
Yes.
done. That,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. Man, that's a blessing. You said something that really just stuck with me. You just get it right the first time, so you don't have to have a second time to get it right.
mm,
That's just something that I've learned over the past few years, honestly. And
mhm,
obedience, how obedience is the key to the kingdom of God. And so
mhm,
I appreciate you sharing that with us and with the
mhm.
audience today. But man, thank you so much for joining the show
Thank
today. I really
you.
appreciate it. And yeah, I'm gonna have to. I just came out with the Spell basketball shirts, so I
Mhm.
would say send me where I need to send the shirt to. Send me the size and everything.
Hey,
I'm gonna get that over to you. And
right
I,
on.
yes, sir, yes, sir. But
Thank
before we go, is there any last words, any words of encouragement that you would like to
you.
share with the audience today?
From just words of encouragement is that I would I share with everyone, even with what you're doing right now,
Yes,
is
sir.
that you've been uniquely designed. You're here for a purpose, and discover what it is that you do that no one else can do quite like you. And
Yes.
that's a part of God's gift to you. Everybody's got gifts and talents. Some people have many talents. Some people may have one or two. It doesn't really matter, but use those gifts to the glory of God, because that's He gave them to you. If you kind of operate in something that's just it just comes to you naturally. It's just easy. That may be a part of your gifting, and so just use it to the glory of God. And when you create something, when you put it together and you see it operating, you get pleasure out of that. And that's the way God is with His creation. When He's given us something and He's created our individuals and they're using their gifts, He gets pleasure out of that. How you want to put a smile on God's face? You use your gift and do what
Yeah.
you're created to do, and continue to be blessed. And like I said, do it to the glory, to His glory, not for fortune and fame, or for influencers and all that stuff. What good is it to gain the whole world and lose your soul? And
Amen.
so
Yes.
just Lord, just that's my advice, is to try to glorify God in every area.
Yes.
And you build God a platform, He'll give you a platform. And
Yes,
just
sir.
be faithful with it. Be faithful with it.
Absolutely.
And when you fall, nobody's perfect. When you fall down, just get back up. Keep on getting back up.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well, Mr. Kyle, thank you so much for all of
Mhm.
your wisdom. Thank you for your insight. Thank you for your voice, man. Like, like it's a God-given voice for sure. So I know that again that you have used, like you just said, your gifts that only God has given you, and He's given you a special gift with your voice, but also just your heart and your passion for just people, for your family. I don't know you, too well in that standpoint, but from the
Mhm.
that I've had, just knowing you from around the community and everything, you have been through and through not only a man of God, but a great
Mhm.
husband, a great father. And
Mhm.
you've just been a man of your word. So I personally, from growing up watching you, just want to say thank you for being that example to me as a young kid in the community, seeing you not only grow in your talents and in your gifts, but encouraging me to do the same. And so I just personally wanted to say thank you for that. And
Absolutely.
I'm grateful, so grateful.
Yeah, well, proud of you. And keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Yep.
Thank you so
Moving
much. Thank you. Thank you.
and
Thank you.
give them heaven.
Yes, sir. Always, always. Yes, sir. And all right. So as we wrap this up again, thank you, Spell Basketball family, for tuning in today. If you have not, or go ahead and subscribe as you see the little icon right there. Subscribe to the show, like, comment, let Mr. Kyle know how great of a job he's continuing to do. And again, you can hear him announce every Denver Nuggets player during the regular season. Also, 2K players, his voice is also on 2K. So
Yep,
when
yep.
you with the Nuggets, like I do every single time I play, you will hear him announce the score and announcing everything on the new
Good.
2K game. Again, this is Kyle Speller, Nuggets PA announcer.
Mhm.
First and foremost, man of God. Thank you so much today, Mr. Kyle, and I will talk to you soon. Okay.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much.
God bless you. This is the Spell Basketball Show with the stats, the facts, and all that. I am your host, Aslan Williams. Y'all have a good rest of your Thursday.